In the small town of Glenwood Springs nestled in the Colorado mountains, Olivia Harrison, a nurse at the local hospital, was preparing breakfast for her 7-year-old daughter Lily. The morning sun streamed through the kitchen window, casting a warm light on her tired face. "Lily, time to get up. Don't you have art class at school today?" The sound of Lily's footsteps coming down the stairs could be heard. Her chestnut hair was disheveled and her pajamas wrinkled, but her smile was as bright as the morning sun. "Mom, the teacher praised the picture I drew yesterday." Olivia smiled and gently stroked her daughter's hair. Her life revolved around Lily. She had married young and then divorced. She had separated from her ex-husband Michael 3 years ago, and now she rarely heard from him. The path as a single mother was never easy, but every time she saw Lily's smile, she felt that all the hardship was worth it. After breakfast, Olivia noticed her cell phone ringing. The screen displayed the word "Mom." She hesitated for a moment but answered the call. "Good morning, Mom. Olivia, I was asked about you at the Real Estate Association party last week. The Glens asked if my daughter was still single. You really should get out more socially." Barbara's voice was directive as usual. Her mother had succeeded as the owner of the local real estate company, Harrison Realty, and lived a wealthy life. Her values had always placed importance on social status and outward success. "Mom, I'm fully occupied with work and raising my child," Olivia answered in a tired voice. "That's your problem. You're sacrificing everything for Lily. You need to teach children independence." Barbara's voice continued on the other end of the phone. "Look at Rachel's children. Brandon is 9, but he can already prepare his own breakfast, and even Zoe, at 5, cleans her own room." Olivia listened silently. Her younger sister Rachel had 2 children and worked at their mother's company. Since childhood, Rachel had been competitive toward Olivia, always seeking their mother's love and attention. And now, her parenting methods were highly praised by their mother, constantly compared to Olivia's coddling. "You're all coming to the camp this weekend, right?" Barbara's voice continued. "It's a good opportunity to strengthen family bonds." Olivia sighed and answered, "Yes, Lily is looking forward to it." After hanging up, Olivia gazed out the window. Her relationship with her family was complicated. Her mother and sister criticized her parenting as too soft, and Rachel constantly boasted that her children were well-disciplined. Still, Olivia wanted Lily to feel the warmth of family. That evening, after returning from work, Olivia was suddenly struck by abdominal pain. The pain gradually intensified, and she sought help from Helen, an elderly woman who lived next door. "We suspect acute appendicitis. The hospital doctor's diagnosis was severe. You'll need surgery tomorrow." The first thing that came to Olivia's mind was Lily. The family camping trip planned for the weekend. She called her mother. "Mom, I've been hospitalized with appendicitis. I'm having surgery tomorrow." "My goodness, that's serious." Barbara's voice sounded more practical than concerned. "What about Lily?" "That's why I'm calling. Could you take Lily with you to the camping trip this weekend? I'll likely be in the hospital for at least 3 days." After a moment of silence, Barbara replied, "All right. Rachel's children will be there too, so we can look after Lily as well." Olivia breathed a sigh of relief. "Thank you, Mom. That's a big help." After hanging up, she suppressed her anxiety. Her mother and sister's parenting views differed greatly from hers, but now she had no choice but to trust them. She explained the situation to Lily, telling her she would be spending the weekend with her grandmother. "It's okay, Mom." Lily held Olivia's hand with her small one. "Get well soon." The next day, as Olivia was resting in bed after surgery, her smartphone rang. The screen showed an incoming call from Lily. Could something be wrong? She quickly answered. Lily. What's wrong? From the other end of the phone, she heard her daughter sobbing. Mom, help me. The tent is gone. I'm all alone. Lily. Stay calm. Where are you? Olivia asked, feeling her heart leap into her throat. She tried to sit up despite the 4-needle in her arm, wincing from the pain. I don't know, in the forest. Lily's voice trembled with fear. I went to pick flowers, and when I came back, the tent was gone, and Grandma and Aunt Rachel were gone too. Olivia's hand shook. Don't hang up. I'll call for help right away. She immediately contacted her mother on another phone. Barbara's cheerful voice answered. Olivia, did the surgery go well? Mom, where's Lily? Olivia couldn't contain her anger. Why, at the campsite. With us. That's a lie. Olivia's voice trembled. I just got a call from Lily. She says the tent is gone, and she's alone in the forest. She heard Barbara laughing on the other end. Oh, you're overreacting. It's practice for adulthood. We're just teaching her a little independence. Olivia couldn't believe her ears.
Can you imagine making $10,000 a month just from YouTube, all from home? That's exactly what I did with Reddit stories. No face, no voice. Check the link in the description if you're curious.
What did you say? You left a 7-year-old alone in the forest. It's Silver Creek Campground. It's a safe place, and there are rangers around. Don't worry too much. Olivia was furious. Find Lily right now. But her mother only said, children sometimes need tough lessons. When she called her sister Rachel, she showed the same insensitive response. My children are fine. Brandon and Zoe set up their own tents admirably. Lily needs to learn some independence too. Olivia wanted to leap out of her hospital bed, but her post-surgery body wouldn't allow it. Crying, she called the local forest management office. A 7-year-old girl has been left alone at Silver Creek Campground. This is an emergency. Next, she contacted her best friend Amanda. Amanda, please help. Lily has been left alone in the forest. My mother and sister. I can't believe it, but they seem to have left her there on purpose. What? Amanda's voice was full of shock. I'll head there right away. I'll be there in 30 minutes. Olivia returned to her call with Lily. Lily, it's going to be okay. Aunt Amanda and the rangers will be there soon. What can you see around you? Lily tried to describe her surroundings through her tears. Big trees and a small stream. Olivia desperately tried to calm her daughter. That's wonderful. You're so brave. Don't move from that spot until Aunt Amanda arrives. As she continued the call, Olivia's chest felt like it would burst with anger and anxiety. Why would her mother and sister do such a thing? Lily was just a 7-year-old child. She recalled past incidents. Her mother Barbara had always insisted that toughness is love, and Rachel had inherited that teaching. As a child, Olivia herself had received similar lessons. When she was 10, she was made to walk 3 miles alone after being dropped off from the car because she had forgotten her school homework. The fear and humiliation of that day were still vivid in her memory. I will never forgive them, Olivia vowed. I will never entrust Lily to them again. A nurse entered the room. Miss Harrison, your blood pressure is elevated. Is something wrong? Olivia explained the situation and requested temporary discharge. My daughter is in danger. I must go. It's dangerous right after surgery, the nurse frowned. I'm a nurse myself. I understand the risks. But this is an emergency. After a lengthy discussion, the attending physician granted a conditional temporary discharge. Amanda arrived at the hospital and took Olivia in her car. "I can't believe it," Amanda said as she drove down the dark mountain road. "Why would family do such a thing?" "They think it's education," Olivia answered bitterly. "Mother raised me the same way. To become a strong, independent woman." Amanda shook her head silently. The two headed toward the forest shrouded in darkness. Olivia's heart was full of thoughts about her daughter. How frightened must Lily be in the darkness now? Olivia's cell phone rang with a call from the forest management office. "Miss Harrison, we have news about your daughter," the ranger's voice had a note of relief. "A local hunter, Mr. Marcus Fisher, found and protected your daughter. She's now safely at his hunting cabin." Olivia couldn't stop her tears. "Thank you. I'm heading there right now. Mr. Fisher's cabin is a bit off the main road, but we'll guide you." In the car, Olivia finally felt a little relief, but her anger had not subsided. "I'm glad Lily is safe," Amanda said. "But you should take a firm stance with Barbara and Rachel. This is close to child abuse." Olivia nodded silently. As dawn approached and the sky gradually brightened, she had made up her mind. This would be a turning point in her family relationships. She would never again allow her daughter to be put in danger. Guided by the ranger, they headed to Marcus's cabin deep in the forest. Olivia's heart was a mix of joy at seeing her daughter and anger toward her family. Marcus Fisher's hunting cabin exuded a warm atmosphere in the morning light. When Olivia rushed into the cabin, she saw Lily wrapped in a thick blanket in front of the fireplace. She was sipping hot chocolate from a mug and talking with a tall man. "Lily." Hearing Olivia's voice, Lily looked up. Her eyes were red and swollen from crying, but a light of hope shone in them at the sight of her mother. "Mom." Lily put aside the mug, threw off the blanket, and jumped up. Olivia ran to her daughter and embraced her tightly. Forgetting her pain, Lily broke down crying with relief in the strong arms of her mother who was trying to confirm her safety. "I was scared, everyone left me." Lily's voice trembled. Olivia gently stroked her daughter's hair and whispered, "It's okay now. Mom is here." She stood up and turned to the man who had been quietly watching from the corner of the room. "Are you Mr. Marcus Fisher?" Marcus nodded. He had a kind expression on a face weathered by the elements. He wore a hunting vest, but the flannel shirt underneath was kept clean. "I heard her crying while I was patrolling last night," Marcus explained in a soft voice. According to her, the tent was moved while she was picking flowers. Her family disappeared, and she was left alone in the pitch-dark forest. Anger flashed across Olivia's face. "Thank you so much, Marcus. If it weren't for you." "I've reported the situation to the rangers," Marcus continued. "They're taking it seriously." Just then, the sound of a car was heard outside the cabin. A few minutes later, the door opened, and Barbara and Rachel entered, along with Rachel's children, 9-year-old Brandon and 5-year-old Zoe. They looked surprised to see Olivia. "Oh, Olivia," Barbara said in a casual tone. "You've left the hospital. You risk opening your wound," Rachel added. Olivia felt her body trembling with anger as she stood up. Trying not to raise her voice in front of the children, she said in a cold tone, "Why did you leave my daughter alone in the forest?" Barbara shrugged. "Tough love is also love. You spoil your child too much." "That's right," Rachel agreed. "My children are more independent." "See, Lily was fine. You're overreacting." Olivia's anger reached its peak. "Independence? You call leaving a 7-year-old alone in a forest at night education?" Her voice grew louder, unable to contain her emotions. "You put Lily in danger." Barbara frowned. There was no danger. We were watching from a distance and would have helped if necessary. That's a lie, Olivia retorted. When I was talking to Lily on the phone, you were at the campsite. That's at least 4 miles away. Marcus quietly interjected. Excuse me, but this isn't just education, it's close to abuse. Leaving a 7-year-old child alone in the forest at night is dangerous by any standard. Barbara and Rachel tried to ignore him, but Marcus's words carried weight. I've known these forests for 20 years. The temperature drops dramatically at night, and wildlife becomes active. She was at risk of hypothermia or wildlife encounters. This is none of your business. Barbara raised her voice. This is a family matter. Olivia said in a trembling voice, No, this is no longer a family matter, it's a matter of child safety. Lily was sobbing in terror. Please explain why you abandoned her. As tensions escalated, suddenly Rachel's son Brandon shouted loudly, Aunt, look. Grandma and Mom's video is going viral. Everyone's eyes turned to Brandon's tablet. He showed the screen with a proud expression. There was a social media platform displayed, and a video with rapidly increasing views. What video? Rachel tried to take the tablet from her son, but Brandon quickly dodged. I took it. I wanted to show everyone how we were teasing Lily. The tablet played a video recording the previous night's events. It showed Rachel planning to move the tent while Lily was picking flowers. When she comes back and finds the tent gone, she'll panic, Rachel was laughing in the video. We're just going to scare her a little. The next scene showed Barbara. A little scare will teach Olivia's spoiled daughter some independence. We'll come back in 30 minutes. Olivia stared at the screen, speechless. Beside her, Lily shrank down and began crying again. Marcus looked at the tablet with a grim expression. Recording children without permission is problematic, but beyond that, this content clearly shows child abuse. He looked sternly at Barbara and Rachel. The forest rangers have already reported to Child Protective Services. This video will serve as evidence. The color drained from Barbara and Rachel's faces. Rachel confronted her son. Brandon. Who did you send this video to? Brandon answered proudly, I sent it to all my school friends. Hundreds of people have already seen it. Olivia looked at her mother and sister with a cold gaze while holding Lily. Now I understand what you've done. Her voice was quiet, but it contained burning anger. This isn't just education, it's cruel treatment. Amanda placed her hand on Olivia's shoulder to show support. A ranger entered the cabin and began to assess the situation. Barbara and Rachel tried to make excuses, but the existence of the video told the whole story. Olivia kissed Lily's forehead. It's all right now. Mom will protect you, she vowed in her heart. The atmosphere in the cabin changed dramatically. Fear colored Barbara and Rachel's faces, and their attitudes suddenly became surprisingly gentle. Olivia, please, Barbara said in a suddenly pleading voice. We only meant it as education. You were raised the same way as a child, weren't you? And you turned out strong. Rachel also began to apologize tearfully. We took the joke too far. Please forgive us. We didn't intend to harm Lily. Olivia looked at them with cold eyes. Why the sudden change in attitude? Marcus explained while looking at the tablet. This video is starting to spread on social media. It seems thousands have already viewed it. The comments are quite harsh. The blood drained from Barbara's face. It affects the company's reputation. She pleaded with Brandon. Please, delete that video. Brandon wore a confused expression. But all my friends have already shared it. #BadGrandmother is trending. Rachel covered her face with both hands. My career will be ruined if clients find out about this. Olivia looked at them with an exasperated expression. That's what you're worried about? Not Lily's safety. She said quietly but angrily, now I see who you really are. As tensions rose in the room, Barbara's cell phone rang. She answered with a contorted face. Everyone in the room watched her expression change. A few minutes later, Barbara hung up in a trembling voice. That was from the town council. She looked at Olivia with a desperate expression. Everyone in town has seen the video. They said the real estate company's sponsorship deals are in jeopardy. Rachel also paled, looking at her smartphone. I'm being bombarded with inquiries from my clients, everyone has seen this video. They suddenly changed their attitude completely and began desperately apologizing to Olivia and Lily. Please, issue a statement. Say this was a misunderstanding, Barbara pleaded. We'll do anything. Lily was shrinking in Olivia's arms. Feeling her small body trembling, Olivia's resolve solidified. Marcus, please tell the ranger that I want to formally report this incident, she said quietly but firmly. I'll also cooperate with the Child Protective Services investigation. Barbara wore a desperate expression. Olivia, would you betray your family? You were the ones who betrayed family, Olivia replied calmly. You left a 7-year-old child alone in the forest and laughed about it, calling it education. But you were raised the same way, Barbara said desperately. And you became strong. No, Mother, Olivia's voice was quiet but firm. I didn't become strong, I was hurt. And those wounds still haven't healed. That's why I wanted to raise Lily differently. Rachel said with a distraught expression, but how can we restore our reputation? We have to live in this town. Olivia said quietly, I don't think you're truly remorseful. You're just afraid of losing your reputation. While embracing Lily, she continued, I won't let you see my daughter anymore. And Mother, we're going to practice that independence you've always preached. She turned to Barbara and said, I don't need your financial support anymore, and I'm quitting the company job. I've learned what true family means through all this. Barbara said in a trembling voice, Olivia, be reasonable. We're family. Real family protects each other, Olivia replied. I don't want to be involved with people who endanger Lily and laugh about it. Marcus said quietly, the Rangers and Child Protective Services representatives have arrived. We need to explain the situation. Barbara and Rachel looked at each other with desperate expressions. At this moment, they seemed to finally begin to understand that their actions weren't just education, but a serious mistake. Olivia took Lily outside. The morning sun filtered through the forest trees, heralding the start of a new day. Amanda placed her hand on her shoulder. What will you do now? A new beginning, Olivia answered. Just Lily and me. As the Rangers and Child Protective Services representatives began their interviews, Olivia and Lily sat on a bench in front of Marcus's cabin. Lily was holding Olivia's hand tightly. Mom, I'm not scared anymore, Lily said in a small voice. Olivia kissed her daughter's forehead. That's right. Everything's going to be okay now. Several hours later, once the investigation had settled down a bit, Olivia decided to take Lily to the hospital to receive her own post-operative checkup. Marcus handed her his business card. If you need anything, feel free to contact me anytime, he said with a kind smile. You're a brave mother. Olivia smiled gratefully. If you hadn't found Lily, thank you so much. In the car returning to the hospital, Olivia gazed through the rearview mirror at Marcus's cabin growing smaller in the distance. The figures of Barbara and Rachel surrounded by Rangers were also visible. She harbored complex emotions, but one thing was certain. From now on, she would build a new life with her daughter. "Mom," Lily called from the back seat. "What happens now?" "It's the beginning of a new adventure, Lily," Olivia answered brightly. "Just the two of us." She had to be strong for Lily. 3 months passed, and as autumn crept over the mountains, Olivia and Lily's lives had changed significantly. From their new apartment in Golden, a small town near Denver, Colorado, Lily was heading off to school. "Don't forget your lunchbox," Olivia said as she fixed her daughter's hair. Lily smiled brightly. "I won't forget, Mom. I have a group presentation with Allison today." Olivia felt proud of her daughter's growth. A new school, new friends, and Lily gradually recovering from the traumatic experience in the nighttime forest. The weekly sessions with the child psychologist were also showing positive effects. Olivia had started working as a staff physician at a large local hospital. The salary was good, the hours regular, and she could secure plenty of time with Lily. The doorbell rang, and Olivia checked the clock. Marcus Fisher had arrived right on time as promised. He had offered to take Lily on a weekend excursion. At first as a friend, and gradually, becoming something more. "Uncle Marcus." Lily ran to him excitedly. Marcus smiled gently. "Today we're hiking to Trail Creek. We might see some wild turkeys." As Olivia watched them leave, she felt a sense of peace. Her cell phone rang, and Barbara's name appeared on the screen. There had been many calls over the 3 months, but Olivia had never answered. Taking a deep breath, she decided to answer this time. "Hello." "Olivia," Barbara's voice sounded softer and weaker than before. "Thank you for listening." Barbara had experienced significant changes. Her real estate company had suffered from the reputation damage and eventually had to be sold. She had heard that Rachel was facing a divorce crisis and was receiving counseling. "Could we meet?" Barbara said. "There's something I want to tell you." Olivia looked out the window. Marcus's car was just driving away. "What do you want to talk about?" "I was wrong," Barbara's voice had a tone of confession. "I thought toughness was love, but it was just a desire to control. I've learned the hard way that there are things more important than money and status." Olivia remained silent. "I sold the company," Barbara continued. "And I've established a trust fund for you and Lily. But I'm not trying to buy back our relationship with money. It's just my way of making amends." Olivia had complex emotions. Anger, sadness, and a complicated love for her mother. "I can't forgive you right away," she said quietly. "But having a grandmother is important for Lily too. Let's rebuild our relationship little by little." Barbara's sigh of relief could be heard over the phone. When asked about Rachel, Barbara replied, "She's still coming to terms with her own issues." Her relationship with her own children also needed repair. After hanging up, Olivia stood by the window, gazing at the changing seasons. Human relationships change like seasons too. Even when hurt, they can heal with time and sprout new buds. In the evening, Lily and Marcus returned. Lily's cheeks were red from the outdoor air, and her eyes sparkled with the excitement of adventure. "Mom, I saw wild turkeys." Olivia embraced her daughter. She had created a place where Lily could sleep safely and dream. In her arms, Lily smiled happily. And the terror of the forest no longer appeared in her dreams.